And welcome back to Community Viewpoint. And I'm Mike Smith, your host. And, I'm talking to Miss Simone Blair-Walker, and she's not a miss, okay? I'm just saying that, okay? That's just, vernacular or whatever you want to call it. But no, Simone Blair-Walker, and she's with Mia Bachi Consulting and Imagery. I don't know. I'm screwing up your title now. I'm sorry, Simone.
It's
Go for it.
Miyabachi.
What is it,
Image,
Miyabachi?
yes.
Okay. I'm going to just call you Miyabachi
That's
from here
right.
on
Just
out.
Miyabachi.
Okay. Guys, I've been knowing Simone for a while now, and I'm so comfortable with her and her friendship and her kindness. And not only that, we talk about people being intellectual, we talking about people being, all this and that, but give me someone that's wise. Give me someone that has knowledge, who can talk to me and I can talk back to them, learn things from. And I deem her as such, a woman who's very, very, very much astute in what's going on in society today, but also has a great deal of wisdom. And she just didn't accumulate this overnight. It took a little while to do so. But Simone, let's pick up the conversation that we had pretty much in the first half of the show. Okay, so you take it over right now.
Okay. Are you referring to relationships,
Well,
business?
I'm referring to what you ended with.
Being that queen.
Being that queen. That's right. Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, being that queen. Well, that's where I hope I'm speaking for most of the ladies out here, but that's what I've always believed that I was, but I've not always been treated that way.
Okay.
And this is for you ladies, you just got to stand your ground and know your worth and don't settle for mediocrity or someone who doesn't love you for who you are. But before you can decide and want that love in your life, you got to figure out how to love yourself first.
Okay.
And that principle is not just for love, it's for business. It's for anything, If you're going into business, before you can decide on, how much money or what kind of money you want to make, you first got to understand who you are and what makes you tick and what drives you. And if you don't figure that out, you'll constantly find yourself running in circles.
Simone, I'm looking at you. You're a very, very beautiful woman. Okay.
Thank you.
And there are ladies out there, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but you have women that want to look that glamorous, have that glamorous look, but they don't have any substance inside. Okay? Or maybe that's their way of building themselves to try to be something. Okay? Talk to them. Tell them what you think should happen. If they feel empty inside, yet on the outside they're doing their best to look as pretty or as beautiful as possible. And we do know beauty comes from within. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. What do you say?
Well, that's I'm gonna make sure that no, it's not necessarily loaded, but because there are women that or men, it's not just women that focus on the outside. And again, that's part of my work. I'm an image consultant, and so image does play a part in many of the things that we do, but it can't be everything.
Okay.
You can't wrap yourself up in that, which some people do. Some people believe that image and that look is going to, clear the path for them and it's going to make everything totally possible, but it only gets you so far.
Yeah.
And so I believe that it's always important to work from the inside out.
Very good. I like that. And so that's what you have been doing over the years.
Oh, yes.
To bring you to where you are now.
Oh, yes. I just never forgot my dad telling me something. I was around 9 years old. He was working on the car, and he said something about a pretty face, is only skin deep. You got to, work hard. And I never forgot that. I never forgot. I always felt like, you know what? My dad may not always be around to help me fix a car, so I need to figure out how to fix a car.
Okay.
And I just realized that there's certain things that you can do for yourself, especially as women. And of course, you can get somebody else to do it for you. But when you learn to do it yourself, it empowers you.
Sure.
and it just builds you up. And I mean, for me, many of the talents that I have, it's not something that someone taught me. It's just me trying something out and discovering something new about myself that just kept on growing and growing. So I'm a firm believer in independence for anyone, whether you're a male or a female.
Yeah.
I believe that you learning with you learning to do it on your own, it builds character. Now, there are times where you do have to consult with someone else with experience or consult with a professional, but there's nothing wrong with you, applying yourself.
Sure. I want to ask you this, and I want you to advise again, if you will, the person or persons who may be wanting to go into their own business, becoming an entrepreneur, or who have dreams of becoming one. You've come along those same lines, and what would you say to that person?
I would say go for it
Mm-hmm.
and just do it. Like Nike say, you just gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta get you gotta be geared up right.
Okay.
You gotta know what you're getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
Being an entrepreneur is not always easy. At times there are going to be some bumps in the road,
Mm-hmm.
and there are times where you're going to have to use put your thinking cap on. There's going to be twists and turns along the way that you just never expect, and you have to know what you got to do to get out of it, because it can tear you down. It could discourage you. Biggest thing is, if you're ready to go out there, and you have these ideas or desires, do it. Don't let fear cripple you. If you're already doing it and you're struggling, don't give up. There are times where you may have to take a break. Sometimes it's important to take a break to kind of wrap your mind around things. Like for me, when coming to America and wanting to pursue my own business and open it up and everything, and when I decided to go into the shelter, it wasn't me quitting. I had to step down. I really, me going through life and me seeing the where I was headed, it's a high mountain, and the baggages that I had, the responsibilities that I had, I couldn't carry it all.
Yeah.
You got to know when to shed some of that off, and that's what I did. And sometimes it requires you humbling yourself and maybe doing something that other people may, not understand at the moment, but you got to do what you got to do to make it. It's a sacrifice. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You can't have it all. Yeah. And sometimes we try to have it all every step along the way, but sometimes it'll weigh you down if you try to do that. So for me, I minimize my baggage, my weight. I put myself in a position where I can get my thoughts together. Yeah. And I did, I found, thank God for, the YWCA for Women and Children at the time. They provided me that safe haven where I can gather my thoughts and stay in school, but I didn't take on too much more, and just got to refocus and restructure things. And I just stayed on that course. And I knew that once I received my license, then the sky was the limit for me. And you just got to know what your goals are. Yeah. Set those miniature goals and get to those goals. Get to those points of, okay, yes, I made it, and then it's the next step. Don't just focus on the entire vision of where you want to be in the end, because sometimes it can get discouraging because you didn't see those pitfalls. But just know that those pitfalls are there. They're there not to break you down. That'll only happen if you allow it to. It's there to strengthen you. Those puddles and those pits are there for you to go around or jump across. You got to figure it out, but don't jump in it. Don't get sucked down into it. Don't let it be that quicksand and rob you of your destiny. And sometimes also along your way to your goals, you realize that there's other doors that are opened up to you that you didn't even recognize were coming. Yeah. Like for me, when I had my dreams of, coming to America and opening my salon and spa or whatever, I never saw myself here. Sure. but I am.
Yeah, you are. You are.
And also, I have visions for my future too.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there are things that are going to happen. And that's where you have to keep an open mind. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can get so caught up to where you're going that you miss the opportunities that are in front of you.
Okay.
So,
You know what? We have a couple of minutes left, and I want to bring this out. You're working on a book right now,
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and this book is pretty much, I guess, maybe detailing some of
So
your
yeah,
yeah,
some of my
right.
experiences, and the purpose of it is just to inspire people. I've been through quite a bit. I'm not professing to be any type of know-it-all or or guru in any way, but I definitely have gained some understanding, and I've overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite sure that there's people that that can appreciate that and pivot off of there,
Mm-hmm.
into their own path of success. It
Mm-hmm.
has aided me, and it doesn't, profit me to hold it and hoard it inside.
Mm-hmm.
It benefits me to share it, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's my way of giving back. I want to share my
That
story.
is beautiful. That's beautiful. I wish I had more time. You know how it goes. Yeah, you've been here
Yes,
before. You know
yes,
the time
yes.
goes real
It's
fast.
always a pleasure.
But it's I have to have you back again, of course.
Anytime.
Because you have such encouraging
Thank you.
things to say.
Thank you.
And to our listeners. And guys, I want you to know, we try to bring you the best here on the show. And Simone Blair Walker is definitely one of the best. And I so admire her big, big, big time. And I can't say any more about her because when I look at her, I see the radiancy in her, and when I think about her and her family, her husband, and the kids, and speaking of which, we better throw a shout out to the kids. Okay, let's
Yes.
start with
Oh,
Isabella. Hey,
Isabella.
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 Okay, and then
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah,
Chelsea.
and
And
then the
there's
other daughter,
Yasmin.
Yasmin.
And we're a blended family. We have
Yeah,
Jasmine, we have
Jasmine.
Laster, and we have Ebony.
That's right. There you go.
And
Okay,
we have grandkids.
that's right. Grandkids
Yo,
now.
yeah,
Oh my
Lord,
God.
pray for me, America.
Oh yeah, we will. On our knees, okay? No, Simone, thanks again,
You're
okay? And
welcome.
as always, folks, I'm so happy that you tuned in to Community Viewpoint. And, I want you guys to take note of to all of our guests that come through and get involved, make Jacksonville a better place to live. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay? As always, I encourage you to attend the church of your choice, the mosque or synagogue. Give some service somewhere, okay? In the meantime, you keep it straight, you keep it tight. Peace.